We talked a little bit about faith-based, but now let's talk about the Nehemiah committees. What is that?
Well, remember we said we got to approach health outside of the hospital into the community.
Yeah.
And so we went to the community and said, who are the most influential people in your community? And then we brought them together to talk about their role as leaders in a community. And so the political leaders...
The women did that? The women got the people together?
The women were part of it.
You have to be some pretty strong women
political
there with all
leaders,
they have to go against.
there are amazing women and men in Congo who do want something different. So the Nehemiah committees are ways to mobilize villages and through the leadership, political, educational, the economic, and then they choose activists and who get training in helping assess their resources and what they can do with what they have for the most vulnerable in their own communities.
Let's go to a specific example of that. Let's go to the next slide because this, well, it's hard to see. It's the Swahili word for women stand together.
Wamama simameni.
Say that again?
Wamama simameni.
So,
women stand up together.
There we are. Wamama simameni. Women stand together. And I want to go to someone who actually you brought here, who's part of Heal Africa in the Congo. Let's go to the next slide. Boy, talk about a strong woman. That's her right there. Mama Muliri?
Muliri.
Tell us about her.
Mama Muliri grew up in a family. She was the eldest of, I think, 10. But she grew up in a really great family, but there were 3 girls, and she was the oldest. Anyway, she grew up feeling that it wasn't right that the girls had to do all the work in the house. And the boys were like little princes.
Yeah.
And so she always had in her heart something for women and became involved in her church, became a trusted woman. And in 2003, when Ngalula came to Heal Africa, it was because Mama Muliri had been aware of the problem of rape and came to Lynn Lucy and said, what can we do about this together? And so they wrote a proposal that started the program called Heal My People for women, which has now served over 30,000 women.
I heard Mama Muliri tell a story of basically here, this one woman was in a village, and then she went outside the village and she got all of the area tribal chieftains together, and they came together to listen to her, which had to be remarkable in and of itself. And some of them came painted, some of them came with spears, some of them came with guns to scare her, and she stood over them and told them. Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, there had been a threat to our counselors and to our program, and Mama Muliri, because she is who she is, she's respected, she has been working and is well known by everybody in that area. She said, look, we can't be threatened and not react. She said, I have to come. So she did come in, and she talked to the political administrator, said, I would like to invite all of the political and all of the traditional tribal leaders, have them come, and we're going to talk about what their future is. She said, I want them to understand. This was in December.
Yeah.
In December. She said, I want them to understand the legal changes that have happened in this country. And so she had one of our lawyers come and talk and say, what are the aspects of the law that you really need to know?
How is it working? It's been 6 months, and not to say that you're going to have changed the world in 6 months.
It isn't changed all the world in 6 months, but in that community, the tribal chief said, after this 4 days of meetings, we understand what you're trying to do, and we will stand up for you. And one of the tribal chiefs whose son raped a girl, the tribal chief said, he has to suffer the penalty for what he has done. That is a huge change.
Well, congratulations on that one. We've got 4 minutes left in the show, and we've got to get to something that we started earlier on. I've got to skip over to the Lord's Resistance Army. Lord's Resistance Army. The Democratic Republic of Congo is a source of destination country for men, women, and children. We're going to skip over that. And these men, women, and children are trafficked for the purposes of forced labor and sexual exploitation. Much of this trafficking occurs within the country's unstable eastern provinces, exactly where you are, right?
That's right.
And is perpetrated by armed groups outside government control. Now,
Right.
went to the New York Times just within the past month. New York Times headline article says, Congo minerals or a provision or become part of the financial bill. I had no idea what this was. Anyway, all of these minerals that are up there, they're derived from them, are widely used in the manufacture of cell phones, laptops, just exactly what you said, and all sorts of other consumer electronics. And in the U.S. Financial Services Bill, there is a provision that there has to be information if the minerals come from the Congo. That's a step in the right direction, but it's not going to do much, is it?
Well, I wish I could say I thought it would, but most of these minerals are brought out in unmarked trucks or planes and taken out through Rwanda or Uganda or flown to Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe, and then they're processed in legitimate factories, and so that's where they actually come from. Now,
so how is this different than blood diamonds of Liberia? Doesn't sound like it is.
no.
Not any difference at all. Okay, this problem is not getting smaller.
No.
It's getting larger. Here's an AP article. Wanted to go to the second part of it, and let's go on over to the next one, because in it says, let's go to the next one. The situation is explosive. This is the vice president of the provincial assembly based in Goma, right where you guys are. I'm not really optimistic that this can be resolved without conflict. Next quote, what's going on here now is boiling under the surface, a calm before the storm, and when it explodes, and then that was of Refugees International, and her voice was trailing off. Is it about to explode, and who can stop it?
There are so many arms.
Where do they come from?
Who's the biggest arms manufacturer in the world?
You tell me.
I think this country is.
Okay.
Arms are coming from all over the place, and because so much money is involved in these trades, it is a very lucrative thing, and everybody benefits when there is no stable government to levy taxes. There is no control. It can just go over the border. You pay off a few people, and you take it out. So I think...
So 5 million lives that have been lost, and more lives being lost, and just an incredible amount of horror. And you've still got women who are strong enough to stand up and say no.
Yes.
You know, that's got to be the last word. Congratulations very much, Judy. Please keep it up.
Keep supporting them.
Helping to make the world a better place. Go to healafrica.org. You're going to learn an awful lot more. And if you want, July 2nd through the 8th at the Intiman, the name of the play is Ruined. It's about what's happening in the Congo. You're going to want to go and learn more. We'll see you right here on Public Exposure next week. Take care.